The Win Fence module of GeoSynergy can be used to quickly create detailed, full-color cross-sections and fence diagrams. A wide variety of strata can be used to create cross-sections, such as layers, lenses, intrusions, faults, and alteration zones. This module shares the same database as the WinLog module, and can be used to access and plot the boring and well data on the cross-section. A wide variety of boring and well data can be plotted on the cross-sections, including lithology, sample symbols, well diagrams, graphs, and geophysical logs. The boring and well data used to create cross-sections is stored in projects. For this tutorial, an existing project that already contains boring and well data will be used. The project can be opened by double-clicking on it in the sidebar. After the project has been opened, the project map will be displayed. On the left sidebar, the different types of project data will be listed. To make it easier to see the borings and wells, the GIS overlay, Google in this example, can be turned off. To create a new cross-section, click on the New Cross-Section button on the toolbar. The new cross-section toolbar will be displayed. To create the cross-section, the path must be specified using the Draw Path button on the toolbar. The path can be drawn by clicking on the points on the project map. The path must include at least 2 borings or wells, and it is recommended that the path goes through these borings and wells. The path should extend beyond the first and last boring or well. When the last point for the path is specified, double-click on it to proceed to the next step. A unique name for the cross-section must be entered. The borings and wells that will be used for the cross-section will be checked. If the checked borings and wells do not include all of the borings and wells you want to use in the cross-section, press the Cancel button and draw the path again. Click the OK button to proceed to the next step of selecting a style for the cross-section. The style is similar to a borehole template. It determines the format of the cross-section and the data that will be displayed at each boring and well. If the cross-section does not fit on the screen, the vertical and horizontal scales can be adjusted by right-clicking on the cross-section and selecting Scales from the pop-up menu. After a new scale is specified, click OK to display the cross-section. There is the option to have the program automatically generate the cross-section using the data from borings and wells, other cross-sections, and contour maps. This option is selected in the program preferences. When determining how to connect the strata between borings, wells, and intersecting cross-sections, the program looks at the strata names, lithologies, and thicknesses. For best results, the strata names used in the borings and wells should be unique and be kept consistent between borings and wells. These names are not shown on the boring and well logs. On the cross-section at the location of each boring or well, up to 3 data columns can be displayed, depending on the cross-section style. On this cross-section, a well diagram, lithology, and graph columns are shown. The graph to be displayed can be selected by right-clicking on the cross-section and selecting Graph. Select the type of graph to display and click OK. The graph data for each well will be displayed. If the project contains contour maps or for the top or bottom of strata, they can be used to create the cross-section. To display the nodes of a contour map used in the creation of the cross-section, select it on the sidebar. The nodes will be displayed as small blue circles on the cross-section. The points used for a strata in the cross-section can be shown by double-clicking on the strata in the sidebar or clicking on it in the cross-section. The points will be displayed as small blue boxes on the cross-section. The strata boundary can be edited by clicking on a blue box and moving it. When done editing a boundary, right-click and select Done on the pop-up menu. Strata can be deleted from the cross-section by selecting it and then right-clicking and selecting Delete on the pop-up menu. A strata can be added to the cross-section by right-clicking and selecting Add Strata from the pop-up menu. Either a new strata can be added to a project, or an existing project strata can be added to the cross-section. The strata used should be consistent for all cross-sections in the project. For layer strata, there is a top and bottom boundary that must be defined. The boundary can be defined by selecting it on the pop-up menu and then clicking on the points that define the boundary. Alternatively, the boundary can be snapped to a layer above or below the strata. The strata can also be edited by selecting it, and then selecting Edit Strata from the pop-up menu. There are several types of strata that can be added to a cross-section. It is not recommended to change the type of strata after it has been added. The fill style and top and bottom line styles can be changed. The points used for a boundary can be shown by clicking on the boundary segment. If the boundary was created by snapping it to another strata, the strata used will be shown, and you will not be able to edit the boundary points. If there are water levels shown on the wells, a water level can be added to the cross-section using the water level button on the toolbar. If there are multiple water level readings for a well, you can select which one to use for the water level on the cross-section. The cross-section can be saved using the Save button on the toolbar. After it has been saved, it can be closed using the Close button. The cross-sections in the project can be displayed in 3D as a fence diagram. The 3D views can be opened on the left sidebar. The 3D view can be zoomed and rotated using the mouse. On the right sidebar is a list of the project data that can be displayed. The display of the cross-sections can be turned on and off on the sidebar. This concludes our tutorial. I hope it was educational and enjoyable. This tutorial was created for you by GIA Technologies. Transform your productivity with our innovative solutions. For more information, please visit our website at www.giatech.com or contact us at sales@giatech.com.